What's going on, good people? It is your man. Yes, God. It's Dito. It is another great day here in Shop Talk Land, and I am super duper excited. I want to welcome everyone to today's show. And man, do we have a great show lined up for you today. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But first of all, welcome, whether you are watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, or whether you're watching a restream on either one of those networks. We want to take a moment and say thank you for hanging out with us, as well as want to welcome all our extended family, our friends around the country that are listening to us from one of our radio partners from around the country. We just want to say welcome to the show and thank you for being a part of what we call another successful day. We have some great things lined up for you, but before we do anything, you know what you got to do. You got to get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo, Threads, Spill, whatever it might be, whatever social media you might use. But you know who you got to tell? You got to tell your mama them, Ray Ray, Shay Shay, Day Day, Delicious them, Nuck Nuck them, Pojo them. Let them all know that we are live right here, right now on the Shop Talk family of networks, and we are grateful to have you hanging out with us. For those of you who didn't know, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. How do you know? Well, it literally says so right there. And you know that you can find me and follow me everywhere on social media at D Tollfree, at DTOLEFREE. Would love to have you follow me. I know, and people tell me all the time, oh, you do social media wrong. Oh, it is what it is. I tell people, you follow me, I'll follow you back until you start cutting up. But yeah, follow me, I'll follow you back. We'll do what we can to make things happen. Listen, before we go any further, I just want to remind or explain, if this is your first time, welcome. If this is your second, fifth, 75th, 138th time, welcome back. And for those of you who probably figuring out what in the world is Dito talking about, I'm here to tell you, Shop Talk is that good beauty shop, that barber shop, that nail shop. We do for you that coffee shop, and even that. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That donut shop talk where literally no person and no subject is off limits. We've got an incredible show lined up for you, and we want you to be able to join in and make things happen. While we're doing that, I want to also welcome our friends that may be joining us now on Instagram. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We want you to be able to chime in the chat as well and be able to make things happen. Now, as we're doing all of these great things, I just want to take a moment and to remind you that if you have not done so as of yet, please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want you to be able to follow us and make sure that you hit that little bell so that you can be notified each and every time that we go live. So you try to figure out, well, how do I do it? All you got to do is just scan the QR code over my shoulder, and it will take you directly to our YouTube page where you can like, follow, and subscribe. And again, hit that little bell so that you can be notified each and every time that we go live. All right. You do that for us. We will be happy, and we will be able, we know we'll do you good because we bring you great content. That's why you tune in every week, because we bring you this great content. Anyway, make sure you do that, and it will do you good. All right, y'all, let's get ready to get things going. And in doing so, we're going to get ready in just a moment to bring up our first co-host. Now, for those of you who are watching us live, you guys already know, or you should know, that we are a talk back to me type church. Well, I know we're not a church, but we like for you to type back to us, talk back to us, do whatever you need to do. But hang out with us in the chat. We would love to be able to put your comments on the screen and be able to, we're interactive. I guess that's the way I should best put it. This is an interactive show, and we want you to be able to put your comments in the chat, just like my daughter, who should be in class. But Alea Tollfree in the building. What is going on, Alea? Shout out to Bailey and Allegra Tollfree. I guess it's a family reunion. Hey, it's a family reunion as we have my family hanging out with us today. Shout out to Erica Taylor. What is going on? Glad to have you in the building. It is another day that we are above ground. And for that reason, we are grateful and thankful. All right, continue to join us in the chat, and we will make sure that we get your comments up as quickly as we can. Now, with all of that said, y'all know what it's time for, you know what's time to happen now. It's time for me to get ready to bring up my first co-host. We have a couple of them, and you know how they're superstars. That's right. All of my co-hosts are superstars. So they straggle in when it's their turn. They straggle in when it's their time and their turn to come in. And it is all to the good. We're going to make sure that we make that happen. But shout out to the homie Alicia Day. Correct. You have the correct day this week. What is up, Alicia? Glad to have you hanging out. All right. Let's get ready to make things happen. And in doing so, I didn't try this out before we got started, but let's find out what happens if no, that ain't the right one, Doc. Try one more time. Yeah. There's a knock in my door. There's a knock in my door. Take a step that is new. One of these weeks, I'm gonna complete the whole song. But it's not today. Anyway, let's reach out. And yes, I did say reach. Let's reach out to the city of Hercules and get ready to bring up our first co-host hanging out with us in a different location. She'll let us know if it's G14 classified or if it's whatever it might be. But let's bring my homie up without further ado, the one and only, the incredible Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, girl, what is going on?
Oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Hallelujah. To the Lamb of God who was slain for my iniquity. Jesus. I'm at home. I couldn't. I know Jacory is going to have a fit. I am at home. I am sitting in my kitchen. You can see my very busy counter behind me. I tried to get out of here and go to my office, which I normally am. And I know Detail, I apologize. See, we were trying to do this thing like where we're really clean and everybody has the same lighting and, you know, good backgrounds and all that stuff. As soon as I was getting ready to walk out the door, all I heard was crash, crash, boom, boom. And I was like, what in the devil is going on? And I came out and a frame artwork fell off. I don't know if we had an earthquake. I don't know what happened. Did something rumble? Did something shake? I don't know. Anyway, it came crashing off of the wall. And, you know, Detail, I know you can't relate to this, but we have animals in this house. And so I couldn't leave with the glass shattered and like leave. And so I am sitting here. The glass is on this side of my workstation behind me or in front of me over here so that they can't get hurt. In fact, somebody's coming to say hello. Would you like to say hello? Oh, good morning. Oh, good. Say good morning. Good morning. Hallelujah. Bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall be in my paws. Oh, I know you didn't just lick my face, Jesus. I know you didn't just do that. Are you supposed to do that? I know you're not supposed to do that. Anyway, this is Dash. Dash says, good morning. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
He's got the Holy Ghost. He's got the holy paws. Lay the paws on him.
Amen. And we're grateful that he would see fit to join us on this morning. Again, welcome to today's show. We are glad to have you hanging out. And Larry. Shout out to my bro, the Bishop Leonard Dew in the building. What's up, man? Glad to have you hanging out with us. Shout out to Angela Williams, also in the building, who is back there laughing at you and your normal antics. Grateful to have you hanging out with us. Listen, we're going to keep things going because Ashlyn can just be Ashlyn. Shout out to Tracy J. Wilson hanging out with us on YouTube. Shout out to Danielle Robinson Shears in the building. Glad to have you hanging out with us as well. And Erica Taylor says, as long as having a moment. Yes, it's all good. Listen, let's get ready to keep things going. We're going to stay in the city of Hercules, come out of Ashlyn's G14 classified location, take a couple of turns, make a right, a left, go way up the hill, because all of us can't afford to live in the hill. Look over into the cul-de-sac, knock on this specific door, and when you do that, you should be able to come and knock at my door. Come and knock at my door. Take a step. Anyway, I'm gonna figure that whole thing out. Anyway, let's get ready to bring it without further ado. My guy in the building, Ashland's bestie, my bro, Ja'Cory Prothro. Man, what is going on? I know I'm shaking my head too. Welcome to today's show.
She must have had a fizzy lifting drink. Something is going on. Take me up high, Jesus.
Yes.
My God. Okay, it's gonna be one of those shows today. Let's go.
It is gonna be one of those shows, man. I'm glad to have you hanging out with us. Ashland always makes me laugh. Anyway, again, we've got so many people starting to chime in, and we are grateful to have you hanging out with us. And yes, Tracy J. Wilson, thank you. What's going on? Glad to have you hanging out. And yes, you are welcome. Last week was her birthday, and we did take a moment to shout you out, and we are grateful to have you again with us today.
All right. Shia.
What'd you say? What was that?
To lay hands on the dog, because the dog is trying to be a dog and lick in places that are not allowed. Hey.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I tell you what we will do. We're going to get things going, and in doing so, we are going to get ready to do today's National Day. And as the boss has said, he told us to keep this particular segment short. So just for you, Ja'Cory, we only have two. Today's National Day. First one has nothing to do with me, but maybe you might enjoy it. Today is National Corn on the Cob Day. So if you like corn, today is your day. National Corn on the Cob Day. God. I do not eat corn, probably because when I grew up, my father was allergic to it. So my mother very rarely made corn. Now, I will eat corn off the cob if it's mixed in with something. So like a goulash, as my mother would call it, with with tomatoes and okra, and shrimp and all that type of stuff. My mother called it a goulash. Some people would call it something else, but that's what she called it. I would eat corn if it's mixed in with that, and as long as the okra isn't runny, then I can eat all of that together. So anyway, that's what what succotash is what other people call it. Succotash.
Picante, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, all those great things. So so those of you who enjoy corn, today is National Corn on the Cob Day. Secondly, and lastly, today is National German Chocolate Cake Day.
Oh, yes. Oh, hallelujah for the German chocolate cake. That's homemade, because it don't taste right when you get it store-bought. So I need somebody in the comments to let me know when they're making a German chocolate cake, and I will come by and eat it.
And to those listening, I think Ashland wants to preach. So if you need anybody this Sunday, this Thursday, Friday Night Live, please send us an inbox to Freedom Radio.
Yes. So those are our national days. Ashland, she's having a moment today. Anyway, shout out to Yolanda Prothro, Mama Yolanda. Again, I know she's in her birthday season. Her birthday was last week as well. Yes. So shout out again to you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Leonard Dude trying to start a Holocaust, as he mentions. He's talking about the Knicks. We'll get a chance to mention that in passing a little bit later. But shout out to my homie out in Stockton of California. Sidria Clark is in the building as well. Glad to have you hanging out with us. And Tracy J. Wilson says, no, not you preaching about German chocolate cake. Yes.
Anything will preach. Anything. Yeah. When you love the Lord, anything will preach.
Yeah. She reminded me of that preaching Coming to America, where, he was saying that there's a God somewhere. I look at these contestants for the Miss Black Awareness Contest. It reminds me that there's a God, somewhere. Anyway, let's get ready to keep things going. And today we're going to go to the day in history. I only have two things. Again, Ja'Cory, who has been wanting to virtually slap our wrist if we go too long in these segments. But today I have two things. 1962, those of us from the Bay Area. I wasn't born yet, and none of these young folks was born yet either. But in 1962, three men escaped from Alcatraz Island. After 6 months of preparation, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin became the only prisoners to escape from the prison on Alcatraz Island. The three men created a paper mache model heads resembling their own likeness into their beds and escaped through the ventilation ducts. Wow. Now, I have passed by Alcatraz several times on boats. First of all, I can't swim. And for them to be able to escape and swim as far as they swam, boy, that was some sort of an accomplishment. And for them to create paper mache. Anyway, that was a
swam who had never swum before.
Yeah, and they made some things happen. And then last but not least, in 1970, my year of birth, the first women received their ranks as generals in the United States Army. Two women in 1970, Anna Mae Hayes and Elizabeth P. Holsington became the first women to officially receive their ranks as U.S. Army general officers. So here we are 55, 56 years later, and we're still celebrating that because that was a major accomplishment. So shout out to them for those accomplishments that they had in that particular time. All right, last but not least for me, in terms of what we're going to do, actually, you know what? I will stop because this is where Ashlyn normally likes to come in. I'll figure this out one day. But this is where Ashlyn likes to come in and give us her moment in Black history.
Absolutely. We cannot skip over these moments. Okay. These are the moments that have shaped us, that have saved us, that have helped us, that have educated us, that have challenged us. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm only going to give you two because there are a lot. But in 1988, Nelson Mandela had a star-studded tribute concert. It was held at Wembley Stadium in London. The event featured performances by Stevie Wonder, Whitney Houston, and other global stars to an audience of 600 million people, raising worldwide awareness, about the imprisoned anti-apartheid leader. And secondly, in 2010, the FIFA World Cup officially kicked off in South Africa, marking the first time the prestigious tournament was hosted on African soil. And that's all I have. That's it. It's just these two moments. And I think that they're really important, especially because we got FIFA coming up. It's relevant.
And I'm glad that you stopped me to make that happen. It's all to the good. All right, we're going to keep things going. Shout out to my bro, Dale Cicerone, out in the NY, who is in the building, man. What is going on? Long time no see. Man, let's holler real quick one day real soon, man, to talk about all the things that the Lord has done for you. All right, let's keep things going. And in doing so, is that your dog making some sort of noise? He wants to be a part. All right.
This is why I don't do the show in my house, because I am like the female 2026 Dr. Doolittle. That's how I feel right now. This is mine. I claim this one. And then I have three other four-legged creatures that live in my house that are not mine. They're not mine. But I am doing a service for both of my children. They just There's so much going on in here. This is why I don't. First of all, I don't have company. Jacory's the only person that comes to my house.
God bless him.
And yes, and I don't do the show or radio interviews or anything like that at my house because y'all will be cracking up the whole time because
like we are today. Amen.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's just gonna be one of those days.
It's okay. We are glad to have you, and you keep being you and doing what it is that you do. All right, let's get ready to keep moving. And in doing so, Lord have mercy, we're going to do today's birthdays. I have three. I've got to start in the Bay Area. Today is my pastor, Bishop Jerry W. Macklin. Today is his 74th birthday. Happy birthday, sir. He is not only a great pastor to me and the people at Glad Tidings, but we consider him the Bay Area's pastor. Mm-hmm. So many pastors in the Bay Area look to him for wisdom, for knowledge, for help, for guidance in the things that they do in ministry. And so today we stop to recognize the 74th birthday of our pastor, the Bay Area's pastor and bishop, Bishop Jerry W. Macklin. Secondly, in terms of birthdays. Today is Joe Montana. Yeah, the quarterback
yes.
from formerly of the 49ers and, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. He got traded later on in his career. Today is his 70th birthday. So shout out to Joe Montana, the
Wow.
incredible one. I seen him do some incredible things. That throw to Dwight Clark in the end zone many years ago during the playoffs. I think they were playing the Dallas Cowboys in that game. I saw that game live, and amazing. So definitely happy birthday to Joe Montana. Last but not least, I know I'm going to mess up his name, but Dr. Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz, as we call him, today is his 66th birthday. And so we want to stop and wish him a happy birthday as well. And on a personal note, yesterday was my bro, Dante Roberson. We call him Taz. Yesterday was his birthday. He turned 54 yesterday. So I just wanted to stop. Yes, yesterday was his birthday. So I wanted to just stop and mention him. I know you're part of the family, as you've told me many years ago, Ashlyn, but just want to take a moment to stop and to wish him a happy belated birthday by one day. And anyway, you know how we do it. Ashlyn, this is where we throw it out to you to encourage, hopefully you'll be able to do this, but to maybe encourage some people who are having birthdays during this season. The virtual floor is now yours.
Oh my goodness. Look, a birthday is to be celebrated, not because we need more stuff, because we don't. Not because we need to eat more food, because we don't. Not even because we ain't been nowhere, because we have. We celebrate birthdays because it is the day that God created something very, very special when he created you. And if you go back and read your creation story, go back and read it in Genesis. Read your creation story. And I wonder if you will get a different perspective when you see how God took his time. God really shaped and formed and thought it out. And he created a place for you first before he created you, so that you would have calling and purpose and meaning and responsibilities and accountability to him and relationship with him. So today we want to celebrate the day that he decided to create you. So today is your day. Take the time. Celebrate it. Whatever way you want to do it, it's okay. Just don't skip past your birthday, please. And if nobody has said happy birthday to you from all of us here, Freedom Radio, Shop Talk, and all of our affiliates, and Sunny Vaughn says happy 15th birthday to my KJ today. So we definitely want to add that as absolutely. So happy birthday. Go celebrate.
Good stuff. I like that, Ashton. Thank you. Shout out to my bro, Pastor Bill Carter, out in Sacramento, hanging out with us. Also, shout out to Shantae in the building, the Bay Area's alto. What is going on? Glad to have her hanging out with us. And then now we have Jarrell Proto. He says, oh, okay, I think Ja'Cory was right. She about to be a pastor soon. Ashlyn is in ministry mode today. And then, Ashlyn, when you start pastor, you got to use your hands when you start pastoring. Listen, we are grateful to be able to say that you launched your ministry here with us on Shop Talk. All right, let's get ready to keep things going. And in doing so, I think we are almost ready for our next co-host. We will find out in just a second. But today we're going to have a conversation, and today it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because normally I like to pick pretty subjects and subjects. I don't have to have a hard comment about this, or it could be what it be. But today I want to go in a different direction because things in America are not as always how we want them to be. And I now, before we jump into the subject, I think now we are ready to bring up our next co-host. So let's do that. Let's reach out to the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, to bring up my homie and yours. And we got to do it how we do everybody else. Yes, we've got another knock at the door in North Carolina. Let's bring up, without further ado, my friend and yours, the incredibly talented Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda,
hi.
Happy Shop Talk. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. All is well. I am glad to see you. Welcome to the show. And we are glad to be able to make things happen together. Now that we've gotten all these pleasantries out of the way, let's get ready to talk about this subject I want to talk about. I was really trying to avoid it, but sometimes if you don't say something, people will never know where you stand. And in this particular instance, I want the world to know where I personally stand. Now, I am not one that talks about politics. That's really not my jam. That's not something I normally dive into. But I think there is still a thin line in America between right and wrong. And I know you guys, everybody's probably saying, man, what in the world are you talking about? And I'm going to tell you, shout out to my cousin, the Bishop Darrell Shaw out in Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to the homie Lucinda Taylor out in Lathrop, I believe, of California, down the street around the corner. Anyway, I want to bring this up on the screen. Now, just a couple of days ago, we all were in shock. Our mouths were left wide open as we seen this young man, Carmelo Anthony. No, I don't believe he has any relation to the basketball player Carmelo Anthony, but this young man was sentenced to 35 years in prison. He stabbed one of his classmates, I believe, at a track meet. I think he fatally stabbed him. I don't think the young man lived. And he went to court, and they gave this young man 35 years in prison. Shout out to Dante Roberson, who I just mentioned. Again, happy belated birthday, bro. I just mentioned you just not even 5 minutes ago. Anyway, this young man sentenced to 35 years in prison. Now, before we dive into this, let me give you a little background. Now this young man did not run from the situation. He admitted his wrongdoing. He admitted what happened. He went to court, did what he had to do, and they gave him 35 years. Now, there was another young man with a similar situation in the same state, not of the same background, not from the same creed. Y'all can hear what I'm saying without me saying it. Their skin color was not the same. Did something very similar. Matter of fact, he ran away from the scene, and he even denied that it was him. It was only because they had video footage did they realize and recognize that it was him. He went through the same trial and ended up with 10 years versus 35 years. My brothers, my sisters, something in America is going wrong. How does someone who admits to the wrongdoing, doesn't run from the crime, get 35 years in prison when someone else who runs, denies, and was only caught because of a video, got rid of the weapon that he used, goes to trial and only gets 10 years, and this young man gets 35. Come on, y'all. This is a subject that we have got to talk about. Ashlyn, I throw it out to you first, and Jacory, I'm coming to you next. Man, this is crazy work right here, bro. What's your thought?
It's absolutely crazy. For those of you that don't know some of the details, apparently Carmelo Anthony sought shelter from the rain under a Memorial High School team tent at a track meet. And after being repeatedly asked to leave by Metcalf, who's Austin Metcalf, who's the 17-year-old who was killed. I'm not going to say he lost his life. He was killed. An altercation broke out. Witnesses testified that Metcalf pushed or shoved Anthony repeatedly, who then pulled out a 4-inch knife and fatally stabbed Metcalf in the chest. The defense argued self-defense. However, prosecutors argued that Anthony provoked the encounter and that saying just whatever their defense was. And the jury rejected the self-defense claim and found Anthony guilty of murder, handing down a 35-year sentence. Now, you heard Dito talk about the other case, which was absolutely the same, other than it was a white defendant and Carmelo Anthony is a black defendant. There's some very sticky things. I know Jacory can shed some light on this, but there's some sticky things about this as well. The father of the victim was friends with the judge. There are pictures with the father, with the judge. They dismissed some black women. I'm not sure how many, but there were black women that were on the jury and they dismissed them. They did not allow them to be on the jury. They should have moved the case. There are several things that are going to definitely warrant an appeal
Yeah.
legally. This case definitely warrants an appeal just on the mere fact of comparison to the other case and cases. But I don't believe that this young man is going to spend too much time in this 35 years in jail. I do not believe that. I think that there's too many things that happen that are just not right, just really not right. And we see it, and it's public knowledge. And there's a lot of people fighting for his freedom and his justice. So Ja'Cory might have some more to say about that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And before I throw it to you, Ja'Cory, man, I just want to say this. Listen, I want to say this. I am not saying that there should not be some sort of punishment, because, you know, for every action, there is a reaction. So in everything that you do, either you'll reap a great harvest or you'll suffer repercussions. So I'm not saying that there shouldn't be repercussions to what happened. But I think there's a big 25-year gap in between what one person did and what another person did. So, and what Ashton just brought to the table, the mere fact that there were no black jurors, that the father of the person that was killed, that he was friends with the judge. For that reason alone, there should have been either a recall, or it should have been in a different court. It should have been a different judge, potentially a different jury. I hope that one of the great lawyers of our day, I remember, you know, many years ago, this would be Johnny Cochran, who would probably step in to make something happen on his behalf. But I hope that one of the great lawyers of today will see this, step in, and give some sort of appeal to lessen the time that this young man has been given. Ja'Cory, man, I know I throw that to you, man. I know this type of subject is near and dear to you, man. But give me your thoughts on this, bro.
Man, this kind of stuff really pisses me off. I'm just gonna leave it there. But what's funny is I'm looking around like, where are our new age Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's? Why are we not coming together like we used to? I just think our people, we are screwed up in the head now that we have a little bit of money. A couple of us have Bentleys and we can go buy a Gucci belt, and we just forgetting our history, that we have to come together for things in times like this, because this makes no sense. Yeah. At the end of the day, there should not be a different ruler that we hold up because of the color of your skin when it comes to the system.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm looking, and we need some better leadership when it comes to our family. Absolutely. We got to take care of each other and stop being, I think we're really selfish in this day.
Yeah.
To where we're letting things overtake us, and I just don't know where our brains are. Because I feel like churches should be coming together and marching, but I guess we living in a day to where that's just old history, and we forget that we got to come together for things like this.
I'm with you.
I was going to say, I don't even know that it's people don't remember. I think that people remember very clearly. I think that this administration has put fear in the hearts of people by the way that they just send out the what am I trying to say? The military. We've seen riots. We've seen people killed in the streets. We've seen innocent bystanders gunned down by ICE. We've seen, like, it is insane how it's put fear in people that would normally take to the streets. I'm shocked as well, Ja'Cory. I'm shocked that my people are not in the streets, because we're good for a good march. We'll take to the streets quick if it's really for real. And I haven't even seen that. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm with you. Now, I will say this before I throw it out to Yolanda. I want to say a couple of things really quick. I want to put what Sunny Vaughn put on the screen, and she says, "Not a fair chance, not a fair jury, not fair representation." She says we must continue to have honest, open, and intentional conversations with our African-American children. We must teach them their worth, remind them of their value, and prepare them to navigate a world that does not always see them through the eyes of justice. Angela Williams further chimes in. She said, "What I don't understand is how it is over already. How was he sentenced that fast? It's all intentional to start trouble." And she further says that we don't have leaders anymore. What happened here? My cousin Bishop Darrell Shaw, he further says that it's lawless, and he says that there's too much competing within a lot of things going on. So now I throw it out to you, Yolanda Morant, who I know in many cases and many subjects like this, you like to play devil's advocate. I'm not mad at whichever approach you take, but I do want to get your honest opinion on this situation. So the virtual floor is yours.
So first, I don't feel like I know enough about what happened to make a thought either which way, but I do feel like, we keep seeing I feel like I have to be careful. We keep seeing Black men be like taking something that shouldn't be and it becomes something that it bigger than it is.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the young man shouldn't have stabbed him. I did see something earlier today where it was someone, a staff member who saw a surveillance video, and he was, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, like the young man was jumped, like this Carmelo young man, like he was jumped by the other people, and so really he was defending himself, and I just think it's like we keep going backwards. Like it's like we make a step and then it's like no, pull yourself back. And to what Ashton said, Jacory, I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone. I don't know if the people don't care. I think people are overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much going on that people don't know what to choose. You know what I mean? Like gas, cost of living, AI technology, this happening over here, this happening over there, trafficking. We kind of forget that's going on, right? So when you travel and I'm in the restroom, I see signs where women can say, okay, call this number if you don't feel sick. I think there's so much going on that it's like, what part do I support? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we shouldn't be doing anything. I'm just saying I think there's so much going on. What part do I support? What part do I pick? What part do I? Is so much.
Yeah.
The person that runs the country is like out of control. So what part do you pick, right? And so I think personally is like the young man got bamboozled. He just it makes, like y'all said, it makes no sense. I did hear, but I going on that there were no Black jurors. Why?
None whatsoever.
Well, I'm gonna give you a comparison. I was watching the Michael Jackson documentary on Netflix, which I think was very uncool of Netflix. I mean, I will say that you could take my membership, do whatever you want to do. But what I found very interesting, I never knew about Michael Jackson's case. There were no Black jurors on his case. Now, I'm not saying he did it, he didn't do it. I just found that very interesting. So sometimes, as big as Michael Jackson was, I think sometimes we forget he was Black.
Yeah.
And so how was that? So I think we've been seeing this thing for a long time where we don't get dealt a fair deck of cards. Absolutely. So I could share, multiple stories we know about. There was a guy who was locked up for the wrong reasons, and he had been locked up since he was like 15. And then when he got out, society had changed so rapidly. How do you evolve to that? You know what I'm saying? So I think things like Bishop Darrell just said, things just I almost cussed. What part do you choose?
Yeah.
Do you choose to come and fight with y'all to fight with gas? I'm not saying the young man doesn't deserve fairness. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think it's a what do you call it? It's a deception. It's not deception because it's really happening, but it's like trying to get us off track. Like, okay, it's not working over here. Let me throw something else over here. That's what it feels like.
I was also going to say about this incident. What if he wouldn't have had a knife? What would have happened if these 4 boys would have jumped this young man and he wouldn't have had a way to defend himself? Would they have taken his life?
Oh, he just been the next Black man that was killed, and they would have went on about their merry way.
Exactly. So the fact that our high school students, our sons and daughters, have to carry a weapon to feel like their life is all the time under attack, that he had to carry. Look, when I was coming up, now that's a long time ago. Didn't nobody carry weapons. We went to blows. If you had beef, you better put your flat feet on the ground and you better put your dukes up. And that's how we handled things. And then you got real good at being able to punch somebody in the face. And that's how you determine who was going to win the fight. And then all of a sudden, people are bringing, knives to school. And then now it's evolved to guns. And now, it's like, you don't know what is going to be in somebody's backpack nowadays. But if that young man was already carrying a knife, I suspect there's tension in that school to begin with. And that also needs to be acknowledged. Why did he feel that he had to bring a 4-inch knife to a track meet?
Yeah.
At 17 years old? And that's the bigger picture. We have subjected our kids, but I'm saying this administration, this society, when do we fear God anymore? Nobody is thinking about the repercussions of what's going to happen to me if I make this choice. Do you not respect your brother? Do you not love your neighbor? What are we doing? How have we gotten to this place? And the racism is so blatant that these white supremacists are just walking the streets, just saying how they feel and acting on it. And it's despicable. It scares me. Those of you that don't know, I have a son and a daughter that are now in their 20s now, but they are biracial. Their father is African American, and so I'm not living it in my own skin, but I live it in my heart. I live it in my mind because I think about my babies, and I think about Ja'Cory's nieces and nephews, and Demetrius's son and grandbabies and daughters and all of that, and like, it's horrible. It's so extremely stressful, and I don't blame this young man for feeling like he had to defend himself. I hate that young man lost his life. I hate that. I hate that anybody lost their life that day. But why did it have to be that way? Why did they have to attack him? Why did they have to, he was sheltering himself from the rain. Why did they have to make it a big deal? When do we take care of one another? We just lost. We need Jesus to come on back, because we are lost.
Why is he being tried as an adult?
Why is he being tried as an adult?
Yeah.
You can see by the reaction on his face.
This young man out of a whole situation and throwing him into the wolf den. It's ridiculous. My thing is, you got to put yourself in it. I've worked at the school with Ashlyn, and I could not make it today at the school. I probably would have a knife from every drawer in my mama's kitchen.
Right.
It's a lot going on in the school. So my thing is, I don't think he was trying to kill the boy. He was just trying to get free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you do if you was getting jumped and if I had my book bag, trust me, your face was going to be toe up. So I'm just like, you really we got to do something about this.
So can y'all help me clarify one quick? Sorry. Okay. So y'all say, so Carmelo was being harassed or being jumped by these other boys, which respectfully happened to be white, or they were all white. One was black.
They were all white. All of the other students were white. For young men, and Bishop Daryl put in the comments that the victim was a known bully.
Oh, wow.
He was known at the school for bullying people. Whether it's racially motivated or not, I don't know the extent of the previous bullying. But on this day, Carmelo was seeking shelter in a team tent at the school. I think that he attended, and these 4 young men harassed him, shoved him, pushed him. Carmelo gave a verbal warning: if you push me again, you're going to find out. Apparently, I don't know if that's a direct quote, but that's what I've heard that he said. And they didn't stop. And then that's what happened. And so how do you charge somebody with murder when they've even tried to verbally de-escalate? They haven't, you know what I mean? They tried to de-escalate the situation. 4 against 1.
4 against 1.
Yeah.
It was 4 boys. I mean, I know Demetrius like to move on. So I'm trying to. It was 4 boys against him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? How are you? I'm not saying you should have stabbed him. When y'all get that kind of clarity again, I do retain what I said. There's so much going on. What do you choose? What do you fight for? But at the same time, it's for y'all. It's one of me. And so to Ashton said, I think most of the time, I know y'all don't believe this. I remember being terribly bullied in high school.
Yeah.
By these 3 sisters. And let me tell y'all something. That was, if I was the young adult in the day, baby. But I wasn't, right? And I remember I did nothing to these girls. And that went on for a long time. Months and months and months and months and months, right? And so I say that to say in most cases, it's just not like a one incident. Usually it's that, we've seen this in movies, we've seen this in real life. It's usually been happening a while. So I just feel like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah. You're also coming off the back of a despicable case that ended with this is the Asian store owner that gunned down a 14-year-old Black child who had just left the store. He came in the store. You could see the surveillance video. He came in the store, 14 years old. He had a backpack. The store owner said, or the wife said, take your backpack off. He put his backpack off. He went to go get some water. There was some sort of verbal something. He left everything in the store, he grabbed his backpack and he ran out the store with nothing, didn't steal anything, didn't take a thing, ran away from the scene. The store owner and his wife, and I think their son, chased down this 14-year-old child and gunned him down, shot him in the back, running away from the scene. And they just had this trial this week, and the store owner was acquitted. Now, what's happening now is there's evidence that this store owner has harassed Black students that have come into his store repeatedly. There have been altercations with Black students repeatedly. There has been cases filed against him. And yet that evidence was not submitted. It was not entered into this court case. He should have been put in jail. There should have been consequences, but he was acquitted. No consequences.
All in Texas.
All in Texas. This was also in Texas. There's also the Kaysen Allison case where Kaysen Allison, another Texas teenager involved in a fatal stabbing who was convicted. We talked about this a little bit, of only 10 years. Now, okay, some would argue that that's a correct sentence. Okay, then if 10 years is the sentence, then why didn't Carmelo get 10 years? And this case, there was a planned fight between these boys. There was evidence of an ongoing conflict, and they planned to meet to have a fight. And this young man killed the other young man. And this was premeditated murder. And this white student, young man, was sentenced to 10 years. And now we have a self-defense case that, by all intents and purposes, we would all agree it's self-defense, 4-on-1. Verbal, leave me alone or you gonna find out. And he found out. Okay, then there are consequences. But why is he not given the fair, same sentencing? So because of all the circumstances, I do believe, I'm trusting and believing that somewhere something good is gonna step in. God help us. That they're going to see that there were sticky situations in this case, that the judge was friends with the father of the victim, and that they escorted out Black women that were supposed to be on the jury, all these things. They didn't move it to another county, which they could have, and that he's going to get an appeal that is approved and get a retrial in another county, in another place where people are going to actually abide in the law. Let's get there and stop looking at the things that it's crazy. I'm sorry. I know I'm going long-winded. I'm sorry, Dito. I had to take over.
All good. Now, I want to put a comment on here as we get ready to shift gears, but I want to put this comment. I've been saving this comment that Danielle Robinson Shears put on. She says, I believe the indifferent lawlessness has invoked fears and exhaustion and has ultimately taken the fight out of people. I absolutely love that comment. Bill Carter mentioned, we talked about the father being friends with the judge, but Bill Carter says that he heard from a different pastor a friend from a post that that the dad was friends with both
That's
the
correct.
DA and the judge. So the cards were already
Correct.
stacked against this young man already. Bishop Shaw further chimes in and he says that they threw out self-defense as an option before the whole trial started. And he says that this was an orchestrated decision. Very interesting.
One last question, 10 seconds. Isn't that like, what's that word called? I'm sorry, I lost your words today. Like, can I be the judge over your case if I'm connected to you, if I know your kid? Isn't that like against the law?
That's what I'm saying. It should have been moved to another county. In cases like that where a crime has occurred within a certain county, they typically, especially when it's a violent crime, they typically move it to another county where there can't be family members, cousins, friends that would be called to be on the jury.
So it should be called a conflict of interest.
A conflict of interest.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And they didn't do that, and so I think that warrants a mistrial.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a conflict. Thank you, Sonny, for reading into my mind as well. Yeah, conflict of interest is what it should have been. And but again, as Allegra said, that she's praying for a retrial for this young man. It's sad, but it's intentional against our Black males. Yes, so we are definitely with you on that. Listen, we're going to switch gears just really quick, and we're going to lighten the mood. We're going to stay in the same vein, but however, lighten the mood just a little bit as I ask you our question. Now, again, this is one of those Ask Shop Talks that the information I put on the screen may not completely be true, but it definitely is something that can make you think. So I want to just be able to put this on the screen as we consider this our Ask Shop Talk of the day. And that is this. A man goes to prison for 1 year instead of repaying $1 million that was accidentally deposited into his account. So instead of paying back the 1 million, because he spent it when he saw the money in his account, he started spending it. And when they asked him for all the money back, he did not have all of the money. So they told him to either pay the money back or to go to jail for 1 year. Now, again, this is to lighten the mood just a little bit. This may not all completely be factual, but it is an interesting scenario. So I ask you, my friends of Shop Talk, as well as our listening audience, someone accidentally puts $1 million, it was a company accidentally puts $1 million into your account. It was an accident. It was supposed to go somewhere else. You see this money. You start spending it, taking it out, doing whatever it is that you're going to do. The company finally knows this is a mistake. They come back to you to ask you for the money back. You refuse. You go to trial or whatever, and they say, look, either you pay the money back or you go to jail for 1 year. What is going to be your choice?
My.
What's going to be your choice? Are you going to pay the money back, or are you going to just stick it out in jail for 1 year? Ashton, I'll start with you this time. What is your thought on this?
Oh my God. Okay, look, first of all, we don't know how much time, transpired or went by between the time that the money was deposited and the time that he was caught. Okay, let's say that it was 6 months. Okay, let's say it was 6 months. If $1 million gets deposited into my account by accident, first of all, there's a paper trail. Okay. I'm wise enough to know that there is a paper trail. Here's what I would do immediately: invest that $1 million and get some return on investment. I wouldn't touch that $1 million. I would absolutely find a way to multiply it while I could. While I have in possession that $1 million, I'm going to try to multiply it as much as I can. Yeah. And I think that if the $1 million within that, let's say 6 months, that's a good decent amount of time. It might only been 2 weeks, but let's just give him 6 months. If you spent $1 million in 6 months, chances are you don't have enough financial planning experience for to regenerate $1 million to pay it back. I'm just saying, you don't have enough you don't have enough resources, you don't have enough financial wisdom. If you spent $1 million in 6 months or 2 weeks or a year, whatever it was, and didn't find a way to build on it, I think that you probably don't have enough resources to generate $1 million to pay that money back. So I don't think this was a choice for him. I think that he had to go to jail for the year because he wasn't going to be able to pay that $1 million back. And me, on the other hand, even if I had only invested and I had got $10,000 out of that $1 million investment out of whatever, I'm giving $1 million back. I'm not. Have you seen me? I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail for no $1 million. I'm not going to jail for you, for nobody else. I'm not going to jail. That would be my answer.
All right, I'm not mad at it. So I throw it out to you, Yolanda, and I'm gonna use your card last. So go ahead, Yolanda. What's your thought on this? What would you do?
This doesn't have to be complicated. Do I look like I look good in orange? The hell? I'm not going to jail.
I hear you.
For no and body. Do I look like I look good in orange? Do I want you to tell me? Do I look like I want to eat? No shade. I grew with a country mama. I'm not eating nobody's bologna sandwiches on nobody's white bread. Absolutely not. So first of all, I'm going to actually feel like this is too good to be true. I'm going to be crazy enough to go back to the office where I work for myself. So that means one of y'all praise him with a deposit of $1 million. So that means I'm going to say, Ashlyn, did you be deposit this $1 million, girl? Right? Because I'm going to, in serious all truth, I am going to ask, was this an accident, things like that, because the likeliness, but let's, if it's mine, and then we all going to go on the cruise. But hey, I'm serious. I'm not even going to take the risk because I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail for no and body. So you can have it. You can have it back. I'm not even going to try to spend it. I'm going to see if it's mine. If it's not mine, then, at least give me something for being honorable and we can move on. But no, my answer is no.
I'm not mad at you, Jacory. I throw it to you last, man. What's your thought on this? $1 million accidentally falls in your hand. You gonna keep it and or you gonna go to jail for a year, or are you just gonna give it back and be done?
I'm gonna give it back because I go to Ashton will tell you I go to the bank like every other day, so I know what's in my account and I know where it comes from. And if it's not mine, it's going back.
Absolutely.
I'm with you. I'm not mad at you.
That's right.
I have mixed thoughts. I don't know yet. So
yeah, and a year in jail is not a year outside. Y'all can say, a year's not that long. A year in jail,
it's a long time.
It's not the same calendar year as a year on the outside. It's not. You talk about turtle, tortoise, and the hare. We talking about it's already June. The person that was convicted and is in jail right now, it's only January. Okay, I need to tell you, it's only January for them right now. But now that $1 million was in the bank, and they said, if I hadn't spent none of that $1 million, let me offer this perspective. And they said you can do a year in jail and come back, and that money will be yours in the bank. I might consider, if that $1 million was still in my account, I didn't have to pay it back. I might consider. I might see if I could be going to jail in like Seattle or something, like Portland, Oregon. Can you put me in jail somewhere in Utah? Can we do something like that, Jesus?
I'm not going there with y'all. Listen, it's time for us to get ready to go. But before we go, I just got to stop in on a personal note. And just on yesterday, we got the news that my friend, my sister, my homie for over 40-something years, LaShawn Bean. Many of you knew her as the praise and worship leader at Lily of the Valley for many years. I knew her before that. We grew up together at Good Samaritan Cathedral. James Pugh, his wife, who is a twin, Everetta and Everletta. They are twin sisters. They are first cousins of LaShawn, and we all know Mary Williams. She also is a first cousin to my friend LaShawn. I just seen her a few weeks ago at the Lily, and did not know that was going to be my last time seeing her. But she has closed her eyes, gone on to be with the Lord. And the good thing about it, one, I know where she is. Two, if I live right, I'll see her again. And thirdly, there's no more pain on this side. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Lily of the Valley family, as well as her husband, Pastor Jerry Bean, and to her whole extended family. We will be praying for all of them on these days to come. All right, y'all. I'm looking up at the clock. We're not out of conversation, as we never are, but we're just merely out of time. Before we go, well, Ja'Cory, I will give it to you because you'll probably do it the quickest. Any closing comments, man?
I'm just gonna say, if you're out and about this weekend, Travis Malloy is in town at the Juneteenth. Guess what? In San Jose. Get out and experience some of this hot sun.
It is all good. Well, listen, it's time for us to go. On behalf of Yolanda Morant in Charlotte, North Carolina, Ja'Cory Prothro and Ashlyn Cole in Hercules of California, my name's Demetrius Tollfree here in Oakland, California. Till the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time. I ain't even got to say it no more. I appreciate y'all. We gonna get up out of here. I'll holler.